Romare Bearden was born in North Carolina in 1911, but moved to New York as a baby, participating with his family in the Great Migration of African Americans to the North and West. Influenced by American and Asian art, as well as Diego Rivera, Bearden's work is primarily focused on the lifestyles of the American South. Best known for his collages, Bearden produced over 2,000 pieces of art. Today we're going to be focusing in on this collage work by Romare Bearden and coming up with a farmer lantern picture all on our own. So let's go ahead and get started as our inspiration by Romare Bearden. Begin by your background. Grab some paint, a piece of paper, labeling the back. Using a large paintbrush, go ahead and start painting your bottom part of your paper for your landscape background. Using my large paintbrush, it's easier and quicker to get paint on. It's also easy to just mix the paint right onto the paper. Using my brush, once it's cleaned, I'm going to continue working in now onto my sky. Again, feel free to use different colors. They don't have to be a solid blue, just like my grass wasn't a solid green. I had fun mixing and blending colors right onto the paper. White might make your picture a little bit lighter if your colors are too dark. Let's go ahead and take a moment and set this aside on the drying rack to let it dry while we continue moving forward. Grabbing some pieces of scrap paper, let's begin making our farmer. I went ahead and I began with a U shape for my farmer's head. When I look back at Romare Bearden's artwork, I knew that his artwork wasn't always realistic. Please don't feel like when you're drawing that your picture has to be realistic at all. I just sketched out some block-like shapes that I felt would fit the face that I created from the first step. Once I drew it, I outlined it with black so that I could see all those designs and cut it out. I'm going to save all of these papers together so that I don't lose them and I can start gluing them down onto my painting. I wanted to slow it down for a moment so that you could see how I'm making the farmer's bib overalls to match. I used my shirt as a template or a guide so I know where to draw the top part of my pants. I know where the bottom of the shirt will be, so it gives me an idea of how long to make the pants. Don't feel like they have to be perfect. This is a collage, and when you looked back at Bearden's artwork, it doesn't have to be exact proportions. That's not our focus today. Our focus is working on making a collage inspired by the artwork. They do not have to be realistic. I just had fun assembling some of these papers, collage-like papers together, making my body for my farmer, as well as the hands, the head, the hat, and my shoes as well. This is one of my favorite parts of the assignment because now I'm taking any materials that I have available to arrange, create, and make whatever I want. So as I'm starting out working on my project, these are some items you might see that you could add to your project. You could make a cornfield or a bean field. You could make things for your sky, crops, plants, trees. You might get some really cool ideas just thinking about what items you might see outside. Some materials you might want to use could be oil pastel, construction paper, buttons, burlap, feathers or fabric. I hope you have fun just creating and making your own Romare Bearden assembly. I know I sure had fun. Happy art making!